All right, my dear BIBLEin365 brothers and sisters, we are officially at the book of the Song of Songs, and this one is an awesome one. Now, I'm going to just tell you this, it may be one of the shortest intros that I've done because there are some very plain, obvious facts that I need to get into that will kind of sort of break up a lot of the ideas and presuppositions people have about this particular passage. Now, I want to just simply say this when we get to Song of Solomon. It is good. We oftentimes call it Song of Solomon, but it is, of course, Song of Songs. It is a good idea to talk about some of the characters that are involved. Now, it would seem as though the speakers that we have here are the bride, oftentimes referred to as the Shulamite, right? Very interesting one. Of course, the chorus of the palace women that were referred to as the daughters of Jerusalem, Benta Yerushalayim, and then, of course, we've got the king. Now, this is a very important thing because we have to also be reminded of the fact that this is Hebrew poetry, and a lot of people make the mistake of saying that this is all about sex talk and so on and so forth, and I can understand why people get that idea, but I want to make myself simple, and this is sort of the short part of this introduction, and that is, I really believe that the Song of Songs is a beautiful Hebrew poetic picture of Christ in the church. Now, I know that there are many great ones that have taken that view prior to me, the great J. Vernon McGee and many others, but I will simply say that if you examine this book from that perspective, it will become a whole lot more meaningful to you than might meet the eye. Now, I also want to say that there are some parts of this that might seem very confusing. Like, for example, it is interesting how the king makes reference to his bride using terms that involve animal parts and so on and so forth. And it might seem a bit offensive when in reality it is a beautiful descriptor when it comes to the culture in which we were all born and raised in. When I say we, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me and my siblings and those that come from that part of the world, because we use terms like that to be able to describe something very beautiful. Like, for example, my dad oftentimes used to go to my sister and say, Intifi Ain el Bagra. Now, in Arabic, what that means is you've got the eyes of a cow. Now, my dad's not calling my sister a cow, and he certainly is not saying that she looks like one or anything like that, but what he is saying is that you have big, beautiful eyes. And perhaps it's one of the most complimentary things any man can tell a woman. And so you will see portions like that of the Song of Songs when you go through this. I would highly recommend that you go through my teaching on this online, Calvary Chapel, Signal Hill, where I explain this. I think you will really enjoy those teachings, and it will help you make sense of the beauty of Christ and his church. Another thing that I should probably note here is that when we talk about Solomon's harem, it was relatively small. It was not nearly the size that it was when his life ended. It was a much smaller one, not that it makes it any right, but it is very interesting to see the notations exhibited here. I certainly think that there was the inspiration of the Holy Spirit in the writing of this book, and you will be blessed. And I told you it would be a short intro, but it's not as short as I thought. So there you go. Enjoy the book. You're going to love it. It's going to inspire you. And if you look at it the way it was intended to be looked at, I think you will walk away a completely blessed man or woman, boy or girl, or even little tiny child. Hopefully you're getting into the Bible too. So anyway, there it is. Love you guys. God bless you.